lead co-lawyer for the civil parties to proceed with the questions for another 15 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I now would like to speak about the period when you were part of Unit Y10. And in this unit, who was Kami's boss?
Response. I don't know. I know that Pang was the person who was overly in charge.
And above Pong, who was there?
Response. I don't know.
Witness, I now would like to show you a document. This is document D121/6.2, French ERN 00408242, English 00434340, Khmer 00408225. May I please display this document on the screen and provide a Khmer copy to the witness?
The President, you may proceed. The court officer is now instructed to take the hard copy of the document and have it handed over to the witness.
Witness, do you prefer reading the document or would you like me to read it to you?
Response, it would be better if you read it to me, please.
This document is a document that was drafted by Duke, and he indicates the following, and I will quote, annotation, colon, 19 April 1978 has spied.
The President, Counsel, could you please hold on because Counsel for Khieu Samphan is on his feet. He may proceed first. Counsel Kung Samon. Thank you, Mr. President. Just now, Counsel for the civil parties said that document belonged to Dutch. My question is how this document is relevant before us today, because this document is not relevant to this witness.
Well, then, Mr. President, if we read it out, we will see how this document is relevant, because it does speak about Kami and about Y10.
The President, could Counsel give your reasoning behind this or against the objection before the Chamber can rule on this, and then you may proceed after our deliberation. Counsel for Nonchi, we noted you on your feet. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to note that I think the usual procedure is to first ask the witness if he's familiar with the document, and then we can put it on the screen, if I'm not mistaken. We need to establish some connection between the witness and the document, some connection in terms of knowledge.
The President, Counsel for the Civil Party, you are now advised to follow the practices we already been following. You may ask the witness whether he is familiar with the document, and if not, then the document will be removed, and you may proceed to your line of questioning, but not putting the document to the witness, and then questions are drawn from the document that the witness may say he has not been familiar with. So it would be better if we try to follow the set rule and standard.
Okay, so then we can remove the document, and I will put questions to the witness anyway.
The President, court officer is now instructed to remove the document from witness, and the document is requested to be removed from the screen.
Witness, do you know if Mr. Camille was a member of the committee of S71?
Response: I don't know.
You said that people disappeared at Y10, and yesterday you told us where they had been sent to. I would like to remind you of your statements in document E3/103, and I'd like to remind you of your answers 7 and 8. And you said then, and the document was given to you, and on question 7 you said, which was, did you know if people had disappeared within Y10? And you said, yes, indeed, people had disappeared, but these people were only people who had been accused of being traitors and who were brought away to be killed, but I do not know where they were brought to. Back then, I thought that they had been brought away to be killed, but I didn't know where they had been brought to. And I was so afraid that I might also be arrested. Camille would tell me that they had been assigned to another location. And at question 8, which is, did you hear about Koitun Vornvet and Huy Nim's arrests? And you said, back then, that is to say before 1979, I knew that they had been killed, but the information was not made public. Do you confirm this? Do you confirm that these are your statements before the co-investigating judges?
Response: regarding Takun or Tadut, what is the name you're referring to? Could you please repeat it, the final name you mentioned?
Yes, you can just drop the names. I'm going to simply put questions to you about answer 7, in which you speak about the people from Y10. You said that people within Y10 accused of being traitors were brought away to be killed, and you said that you believed that they had been brought away to be killed. Can you confirm what you had said then?
Response: back then, I did say so, and some people were taken away. Whether they were taken to be killed or they were relocated, I'm not sure, but they were removed.
Vous, monsieur,
while you were at XY10, you were Nguyen Chia's bodyguard, and you were also Nguyen Chia's messenger. Among those who were at Y10, Were there people tasked with arresting others?
I did not know them because we had different designation.
Est-ce qu'il y avait des gens qui étaient chargés à...
At Y10, were there some people in charge of guarding persons who were imprisoned?
I did not know it either.
Sur votre mission de messager, monsieur.
Regarding your job as a messenger, do you recall phoning Deutsch at the request of Nuon Chia to set appointments between them?
I did not have access to telephone at that time.
Monsieur, je voudrais vous rappeler...
Mr. Witness, let me remind you of question and answer 117, document D103, in which the co-investigating judge puts the following question to you. And the co-investigating judge quotes what Dodge said in the morning. Dung came for 3-4 days to take confessions. When Nuon Chia had to see me, he would ask me to leave S21. And at the time, his messenger, Tung, informed me by phone. And you answered by saying, that is quite correct. Do you confirm that answer today?
I do not confirm because I am not clear. I suggest that it be removed. It is not true.
Monsieur, est-ce que vous aviez connaissance de...
Mr. Witness, are you aware of the use of passwords?
I do not know.
J'ai presque terminé.
I am almost done. During your training sessions, do you recall receiving a document of ethics containing 12 principles?
Yes, we did receive, and we had to read it every day because we had to understand what constituted the moral quality of the people. So we had to study that. It was very important because they taught us to strengthen our standpoint in order to serve the people and the nation.
Merci. Et qu'arrivait-il?
Thank you. And what happened to persons who did not abide by those 12 points of ethics?
If they did not abide by, or they failed to abide by those moral principles, then they would be re-educated.
Et au-delà de la rééducation, est-ce qu'il y avait autre...
And over and above the education or re-education, was there something else?
No, there was nothing else. It was only re-education, and they did it in a respective section.
Monsieur, je voudrais vous rappeler la...
Mr. Witness, let me remind you of the question and answer 172, document 174. What would have been done to you if you violated the ethics? And your answer was, if you violated that ethic, you would be dead. Can you explain what you meant by that answer?
I cannot explain. I cannot explain.
Vous l'avez dit?
But do you confirm that that is what you stated?
Yes, I do.
Merci.
Thank you. I have one last question for you, sir, or perhaps two. And the first question is as follows. At the time between 1975 and 1979, were you a free man?
At that time, the rule was very strict.
Est-ce que je dois comprendre?
What should I understand by that answer, sir?
To my understanding, we had to respect the organization. Otherwise, we would be accused of wrongdoing.
Et ma dernière question, monsieur.
And this is my last question, Mr. Witness, and it is as follows. During that period, were you afraid?
Yes, I was afraid.
De quoi?
Afraid of what?
I was afraid of committing any wrongdoing.
Et qu'est-ce qui serait arrivé si vous commettiez un délit?
And what would have happened if you committed such wrongdoing or an offense?
I was afraid because if I committed any wrongdoing, I would be taken away or I would be subjected to execution or so.
Je vous remercie, monsieur. Je n'ai plus de questions.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions for you.
The President, thank you. Would like to ask fellow judges on the bench, do you have any question to put to the witness? If there is no question, then I would like to turn the floor over to the Defense Counsel for Nuon Chea to put question to this witness. And it would be helpful if the Defense Counsel for Nuon Chea can indicate as to how much time they would need to put question to this witness. And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hopefully this will be a welcome submission. Given some of the impeachment that's already been accomplished today by my colleagues on the other side of the stage, we will need significantly less time. I expect myself to take about an hour. Major Sonaroon, if he has any questions at all, he's indicating that he doesn't. So if there's some anxiety about time, I could surely complete my examination before the coffee break tomorrow morning if Your Honors have questions this afternoon.
Well, if you will take only 1 hour or so, then you may proceed from now on, because
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Mr. Witness, I'm going to start out this afternoon by referring to three documents which we've referred to already over the course of the last 2 days, and that I believe you are familiar with, but just to go step by step. The first document I'd like to refer to is E3/103. And that's English ERN 0020401118 to 00204022. French ERN 00490622 through 00490626, and Khmer ERN 00204013 through 00204017. And that, Mr. Witness, is a statement, a written record of an interview with the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges that's dated 4 December 2007. Are you in fact still familiar with that document?
No, I am not.
I'm not.
You've been referring to the document over the course of the last 2 days. Perhaps you could have a look at it. I believe it's in front of you already. It's one of the statements that's formed the basis of quite a bit of your testimony since you've come into this courtroom.
Sorry, I cannot hear the translation.
មន្ត្រីរដ្ឋបាលតុលាការជួយគាត់ពិនិត្យគាត់មើលថាគាត់មានឯកសារ
Court officer, please check his headphone to ensure that the battery is still remains, and make sure that his headphone is working well. And we would also like to check with the defense counsel whether or not you have any document to present to the accused or to the witness.
I believe the witness has the document. It's E3/103. He's been testifying about it the last 2 days. I do have a spare copy if that assists.
ជាមិនមានទេ
It appears that the accused, the witness does not have a copy of that document. Court officer, please take the document from the defense and present it to the witness.
And perhaps, pursuant to the procedure, it should be placed on the screen as well. That way everybody else can see it.
Yes, please proceed. The assistant, please make sure that the document is displayed on the computer screen.
Are you able to read that document, Mr. Witness? Are you able to see it and to read it and to understand it?
Could you please read it for me? It would be better if you read it for me.
Well, it's a 5-page document. It's right there in front of you. Perhaps you could leaf through it. Tell me if you're familiar with it. It's a statement you made.
I do not understand your question. The President. Witness, can you read the document before you? I am sorry, I cannot hear the translation well. The President, but can you read the document before you? Response. I cannot read it well, so it would be better if it is read for me.
Well, I'm not quite sure I understand. You do read Khmer, that's correct?
Yes, I do, but very little.
Okay. If it's a question of being tired, Mr. Witness, I'm happy to give you a rest and we can start tomorrow.
The President, the co-prosecutor, you may proceed.
Yes, I object to counsel is badgering this witness. He's made clear that he doesn't read very well, and because of that, we've been reading the relevant passages for him. If counsel has some questions, he should follow that. It's not a matter of the witness being tired. The witness has expressed that it is easier for him if the person asking the question reads from the document. That's been going on for the last day and a half.
The President, witness, do you require that the defendant read this portion of this document for you? Response, yes. The President, well, the testimony is not yet complete. There are other parties, namely the defense will be putting questions to you as well. So if you cannot read, then you can request that the portion of the document be read to you. The defense counsel may read a portion of the documents that they want to ask a question to you. So other parties has already done that in the last few days.
Your Honor, perhaps I can assist. First of all, I'm obviously not trying to badger anyone. I don't have any substantive questions about the content of this document, so perhaps if I try another route, I'll be able to accomplish what I'm after. Mr. Witness, this purports to be a statement that you made to the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges on the 4th of December, 2007. And as I've said before, you've been commenting on this document over the course of the last 2 days. So my first question is, do you remember making this statement to the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges on the 4th of December, 2007?
I cannot recall it.
Do you remember placing your thumbprint on any pages of that document? Perhaps you could have a look at it. Your thumbprint is on the document, or what purports to be your thumbprint is on that document. Perhaps you could look at the bottom of each page and at the last page. And would that...
Yes, I remember it.
Okay. So you remember making this statement. You remember giving this statement to the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges. Thank you.
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. And do you remember affixing your thumbprint to the bottom of each page and to the final page? And I believe under your thumbprint on the final page is a signature. Do you remember putting your thumbprint and your signature on that document?
I do not remember.
Do you remember taking an oath before you gave this statement, as indicated on the second page of the document? This person took an oath in accordance with the provisions of Rule 24 of the Internal Rules of the Extraordinary Chambers. Do you remember taking such an oath?
I remember it, but at that time I did not want to take an oath, but since they forced me to take an oath, I simply followed.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Is your testimony that someone from the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges forced you to take an oath? Is that what you've just said?
In my understanding, it was not a force, but I did not know the procedure of taking an oath, but at that time they asked me to take an oath, and I took it. But at that time, if they asked me whether or not I had killed anyone, then I did not really understand the procedures, but since they asked me to do it, I had to do it. But I, at that time, promised that from now on, I will never kill anyone. At that time, I was a bit afraid. Then I decided to take an oath.
Just going back to the last part, then I decided to take an oath. When did you decide to take the oath?
I took an oath the first time I came here. I did not remember the date, but at that time I came here for the first time and I did it.
Okay, Mr. Witness, I think I get you clearly now. Let me move on to another document. This is document number D258. Actually, strike that. Let me start with document A339. A339. And that's English ERN 00423275 through 004232. It's a one-page document, excuse me. Khmer ERN 004010, and French ERN 00423552. Perhaps this document, Mr. Witness, let me ask you, with respect to your last statement, you just mentioned that you took an oath the first time you came to Phnom Penh. The document I'm referring to is a written record of the swearing of the witness, and that's dated 2 December 2009. That document purports to have been executed at 9 in the morning on the same day that you engaged in a confrontation with Doik here in Phnom Penh. My first question is this that oath that you were referring to? Is this the first time you remember taking an oath?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Going back to the previous document, I mentioned document D258. And that's English ERN 00413939 through 004101. Excuse me, 00413947. Khmer ERN 00410161 through 00410169. French ERN 00413948 through 00413955. That, again, document D258 is a written record of a confrontation between you and the accused, now convicted person, Doik. This is another document that you have made reference to several times over the course of these last 2 days. Perhaps that could be put on the screen and a hard copy given to the witness. I think you may have one already. If not, I've got a spare copy. Thank you. Let me know when you've had a chance to have a look at it. Mr. Witness, have you had a chance to see that document?
No.
Response, no, not yet.
Well, I just saw you looking at it. That's the one.
I'm not sure I have understood the document because you only show only portion of it.
No, I've given you the entire document. You just had it in your hand.
Response, yes, indeed. I have obtained the document and have it kept here.
Thank you. Again, that is a written record of a confrontation between you and Doik, and that document is dated also the 2nd of December 2009 at 9:15 a.m., so 15 minutes, purportedly 15 minutes after you took your oath. Do you recall that? Do you recall taking an oath and then beginning the confrontation?
Response. I did not meet him until I had taken an oath first.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, at the bottom of each page of this document, and again at the end, is a thumbprint, which purports to be yours. Could you have a look at that and tell me, is that in fact your thumbprint? Did you in fact affirm this document by placing your thumbprint on the bottom of each page and at the end?
I do not recognize this because people who could give signature or thumbprint only those who are higher educated.
I'm sorry, Mr. Witness, I didn't understand your response. Did you say that only educated people could affix their thumbprint to a document?
Response. Yes, I did say that, you know, like when people given thumbprint, it is really difficult to check whether the thumbprint belongs to him or her unless you have something to prove it. I note that the thumbprint here could be for someone else, but I recognize my handwriting on that piece of document. But I can presume that the thumbprints belong to me anyway.
Indeed, Mr. Witness, very correct you are. It is very difficult to recognize thumbprints. Do you agree that this is your statement?
Response. Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. And just one more, Mr. Witness, one more. I'm referring now to document E3/423, formerly D274/223, and that is English ERN 00414587 through 00414611, Khmer ERN 00408429 through 00408453, French ERN 00434806 through 00434831. Mr. Witness, I'm quite sure you have a copy of that. You've only 20 minutes ago or so been answering questions put to you by the civil parties, but I do have a spare copy. Do you have it in front of you, that document?
The President, court officer is now instructed to look at the document and have it be placed on the top of the other document so that witness can have a better look at it.
Quite a long document, Mr. Witness. Do you recognize that document?
A response. I don't think I remember it.
This is the document that has a very long series of questions and answers, which have been numbered. and the various counsel in the room today have been making reference to those numbers and asking you questions about those questions and answers. Does that help you? Do you remember this document now?
Response, I do now because when I come to this place more regularly, I am quite familiar with the document. Before I didn't.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Could you look at the last bit? Well, before I go on, I just might say that this is a written record of an interview with you. It's dated the 2nd of December 2009. Could you turn to the final page of that document? Or perhaps the final page could be put on the screen.
The President, you may proceed.
I won't ask you about the thumbprint, but is that your signature underneath the thumbprint? Is that your name written there?
Man.
Response, I have seen the thumbprint now.
So is that in fact your statement?
Man.
Response, yes.
And do you also remember having taken an oath before giving this statement in accordance with Rule 24 of the ECCC internal rules?
Man.
Yes, I do, says the witness.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. If I could very briefly go back to document D258, and if we could have placed on the screen, please, page 4, which is English ERN 00413942, Khmer ERN 00410164, French ERN 00413951.
The President, you may proceed.
Mr. Witness, on your screen, there's a bit highlighted in a red box. I'll read that for you. This says, statement by the International Co-Prosecutor Vincent Duhalde Esmael. Before giving the floor to the witness, the co-prosecutors wish to impress upon him that they have absolutely no intention of prosecuting him for anything he may have done during the Khmer Rouge era, and that he should have absolutely no concerns on that matter. Do you remember being told that by one of the prosecutors, one of the international prosecutors?
Response, no, I don't.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. The next bit is a statement by the co-investigating judge, Yu Bun Lang, to the witness. We are explaining to you that you will not be prosecuted for events that occurred in democratic Kampuchea, and that you have the right not to incriminate yourself, although you also have the duty to speak the truth. That's also in that red box. Do you recall that bit being told to you by the co-investigating judge, the Cambodian co-investigating judge?
បានចាំទៅ
Response: No, I don't remember it. I think I have forgotten it.
Having heard those words I've read to you, do you understand those to be cautions, to be warnings, to be advisements to yourself of a certain right that you have?
Response: I don't understand.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, now I'd like to talk about a slightly different topic. And this again refers to E3423. That was the third statement that I referred to. And if we could look at page 5 of that document, that's ERN in English 00414591. ERN Khmer 00408432. And in French 00434810. Perhaps that could be put on the screen, shown to the witness. Mr. Witness, the bit in the red box refers to, there's a question A18, rather, question A18, answer A18, and that appears to be the last question that was given, the last answer that was given, excuse me, on that day. And then the text reads, this interview paused at 16:20 hours on the same day and continued at 9:30 hours on the 3rd of December, 2009. Do you have any recollection of that time? Perhaps I could help you first. That is when you ended one day of testimony, your first day of testimony with the investigators from the Office of Co-Investigating Judges, and you took a break, and you left, and then you came back the next morning. Do you remember that?
បានចាំបានមក
Response: No, I don't remember, and I don't remember having come to that place.
Which place, Mr. Witness? To Phnom Penh?
អាចលើកទី1
Response: I first was interviewed in Thailand, then in Phnom Penh. So altogether there were on 3 occasions that I was interviewed.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. When you were interviewed in Phnom Penh, do you remember ever being told by an investigator for the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges that if you told the truth, that if you changed your original story and told the truth, that you wouldn't have to come back to Phnom Penh to give an appearance before the trial chamber. Do you remember being told that?
ការដែលបានដំបូងទី1
Response. During the first interview, I did not tell all the truth because I was scared. After I was informed of the law and procedures, I was familiar with these procedures, and I started to be more truthful.
I see. So can I take that as a no, that you do not recall being told by OCIJ investigators that if you changed your story, you would not have to come back to Phnom Penh and give testimony before the trial chamber?
ឡើយនោះវាច្បាស់ហើយមិនទៀតមិនស្រាប់មកទៀតអត់អស់
Respond. I think everything is already clear now.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Did you discuss this change of heart that you had, Mr. Witness, your change of testimony? Did you discuss that with anyone?
Response. No, I didn't.
And apart from the two bits that I've read out to you previously, were you given any other assurances by any member of the OCIJ? Assurances that perhaps you would not be prosecuted?
Response. I don't remember.
Thank you. What about by the Witness and Evidence Support Unit, the WESU unit, the individuals who are taking care of you now in Phnom Penh? Did they ever provide any assurances to you?
Response. I don't know.
Thank you. One last question, Mr. Witness, and this is excuse me, this has an E number. That's E3/423, that's D, formerly D234/23. We've referred to this already. I'm looking now at English ERN 00414609, Khmer ERN 00408451. Just at the bottom of the page there, Mr. Witness. The question was, do you recall whether in January 1979 any Chinese delegation came to visit Cambodia? And answer 202, I did not know. I only knew that there was a circus team from China coming to perform at the Chaktumuk Theater Hall. I know that because I was guarding there. And the following question, during the performance of the Chinese circus team, to any senior leaders such as Pol Pot, Nuon Chea, Yang Seri, and so on, go to watch that show? And your answer was, I knew that Nuon Chea went to watch that show, but I did not know about the other leaders because I was outside. Do you remember giving those answers?
បាទចាំ
Response: Yes, I do.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. And just turning back to a topic that I was on a moment before, about assurances given to you by, any assurances given to you by the prosecution, Wesu, or anyone. What have the Wesu unit, the Wesu people told you since you've come to Phnom Penh? What kinds of things have they told you prior to your testimony?
Response: I was not told anything.
And what about your meeting with them in December 2011 that Judge Lavergne referred to previously? What did they tell you then?
បាននិយាយបង
Response: No, they did not tell me anything.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I have no further questions.
The President, thank you, Counsel. Thank you, Mr. Witness and Duty Counsel for witness. The court hearings on the testimonies of witness So Tung has come to an appropriate end today. However, the Chamber will have another session for the whole morning so that the remaining two counsels for Mr. Kilsampon and Ieng Sari have opportunities to put questions to the witness. We have already been noted that counsels would need 1 hour each. So we may now ask, or we are asking witness to come back tomorrow, and that his duty counsel is also invited to come to assist Mr. Witness for another morning session for tomorrow. Court officers are now instructed to ensure that witness is well coordinated by the Wesu unit so that he can be properly accommodated. The court is now adjourned. Tomorrow's session will be resumed by 9 a.m. Security personnel are now instructed to bring all the 3 accused persons to the detention facility and have them returned to the courtroom before 9 a.m. The court is adjourned.